Hi guys, welcome to another installment of Open TV Tutor. So I want to take you guys through some of the fundamentals for Oracle WebLogic server. Basically, I'm just gonna go into like what the WebLogic server is, some of the features, and basically I'm just gonna like explain, give you guys an introduction, pretty much to WebLogic server. So basically, again, these are going to be topics. I'm first going to focus on the architecture, and then I'm going to go into basically what is a basically there's a term for application servers. And basically that ties in with the concept of middleware. So I'm going to go into what is middleware. I'm also going to focus on what is a G2EE architecture, what are the features and functionalities, and how this concept or this utility ties in with the with Oracle WebLogic server. And then last, I'm gonna focus on I'm gonna give you guys an in-depth look into the WebLogic server. I'm gonna go into basically the different versions, that are being released, basically, and some of the features that are part of each version, and basically I'm just gonna give you guys more detail as far as like what's unique about the different types of WebLogic server. So the first thing is this is actually this is for the architecture. So in terms of IT infrastructure, so generally speaking, the architecture is laid out in many different ways. So today I'm going to focus on a 3-tier architecture. You can have as many as 5-tier architectures. That all depends on what the IT team wants to do for your for your infrastructure. So in terms of 3-tier architecture, what you have is you have a client, which is basically an application that you're using to connect to the server. You have an application server, where basically, again, going back to just what I just told you guys, this is going to tie in with the concept of middleware. And then also with application server, something that's really important to know is that it ties in also with the business logic for your system. And then the third tier is actually going to be the database, the data server, or basically databases that are being supported. That could be a Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, different. Basically, that all depends on which platform you want to use. So in terms of the 3-tier architecture, so again we are looking at this at the second tier, which is the middle tier, and this is what the WebLogic server is actually this is where it resides. So basically, if you look at this model, basically it's the same thing in first tier, middle tier, and then the back end tier, which is database. So this is where you have the WebLogic server. It's an application server, and again, on the client tier, you can have mobile devices, items running from mobile devices to web browser, to clients, and again, back end, I'm probably going to cover this in if I don't get a chance to cover it, I would probably just say just a couple of things about it so you guys know exactly what's going on in the back end. Okay, so what is the middleware? So basically, in terms of middleware, it's basically the key to your IT infrastructure operation. So what I'm saying by that is, the middleware is what joins the client and the back end. So if you're using an application, basically what you're doing is, let's say you go to Google.com, or you go to Yahoo.com. So what you're doing is when you type into yahoo.com is what you're receiving is you're interacting with the middleware, and what's being presented to you is that is part of the application is an application that's part of middleware. So basically, and then so basically that's the interaction that you would have with with a website. And if you were to go into the Yahoo Mail, the email account, that would be more of a you would be doing the same thing. But the thing is, now it would involve dealing with the database. So basically, if you are again, the reason why it's a database is because you're retrieving data. So and the first one is you're just going to a website. So one is you're interacting with application that's part of a middleware package, and the second one is you're interacting with an application that has actually with a middleware that has an application that's presenting you basically what you're looking for. In addition to the information that's already stored in your account, which is basically part of the database. Again, that's what the middleware is the key to the IT infrastructure operation. And also the good thing about the middleware is that what it does is as I've already mentioned to you guys, it's part of the business logic. So what it does, it takes in your input and gives you back a result. So basically, it responds to your request. And also, as I've already told you guys, basically it's the computer software that gels the application, the users, and the backend database. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be database. It could actually be just applications. But generally speaking, you have client, middleware, and then backend database. And then so the middleware can also can be again, it can be basically a set of application or services. And as I've already told you guys with the Yahoo example, what the middleware is doing is it has all the different applications that are part of it, and then basically when you submit a request, what it does is it gives you back it presents the application that responds to your request. And also something that's very important is the middleware. That's very important to note is that the middleware chair can only be used if you have a J2EE component installed. I'm going to cover J2EE in a little bit, but basically, again, the concept of basically being able to respond to requests with different application types, again, that's only something that J2EE can deliver on. So I'm going to cover J2EE in, I think, should be the next slide. Okay, yeah. So what I was saying is that with the J2EE, basically what it does is it provides the right API for all the applications that you might have in the middleware. So what it does is basically it's sort of like it supports different application types. So basically, again, if you have a user making a request for a particular, to be able to view something, if it's a Google website, MSN, Yahoo, all those websites, again, you're interacting with the J2EE is actually responsible for the presentation that you're receiving of the presentation of the application. So basically, in terms of the strength for the J2EE, some of the strength, the reason why most J2EE is most IT infrastructures would basically heavily rely on J2EE because again some of the strengths are security, it's highly available, it's concurrent, it's transactional, it's persistent with data. Again, that fact is that's also to consider. Let's say you want to sort of like package in a clustering capability. Basically, you can do that. As well. You can also include load balancing. Again, that's probably something that I'm going to cover in a later tutorial. And also, what it does is it actually enables the management of life cycle for the system. So what it does is it starts and stops services and restarts them. So basically, you have sort of a one-stop shop for your for to be able to basically administer the system. And as I've already told you guys, the J2E is part of the middleware, so therefore it interacts with business logic. So again, it's responsible for that, and it's responsible for the presentation. Just displaying the application that comes from the application that comes from the user request, and it's also responsible for persistence of data. So again, that ties into the security and availability for for different types of applications. And also, the good thing about J2EE is that it supports very specific containers. So basically, what it does is it allows for you to have like again things called containers that you can just basically package your code in, and then transport it, and then run that container in a different environment. So basically, if you have a let's say you have you have an EJB container, and you place in an EJB application. What you can do is you can take that and basically put it in a container, and then take it to a different environment, and then just run it. That's one of the great things about having G2E. It allows for you to just transport the container. Another good thing about J2E is that basically it's a well packaged technology. So again, what it offers you is an end-to-end architecture for your entire environment. So basically, you have starting with the web servers to the applet to the servers. So basically, everything is in terms your environment is well accounted for, like in terms of the different the complete the package technology that's part of the J2EE of J2EE. So in terms of the architect, this is what I was referring to. So in terms of the containers, so here you have different containers. So basically, if you have a web application, this will be part of the web container, and it will run out of web container. If you have EJB, you have EJB container for EJB applications, and also application client. So basically, he's gonna be able to take in requests from the applications, and then again this applet. Again, that's what I'm saying. So basically, it allows for you to be able to utilize a lot of different technologies to submit your request, and to get the users to basically have a seamless experience while using your system. And also it has like very useful features like the messaging services. Again, this is for the backend part, where basically it's gonna be great in interacting with the database. So basically, in terms of J2EE, so again, J2EE is just an architecture. It's a concept. It's a concept that was came about because of the love of Java, the Java programming language. So basically, the J2E architecture is actually included in application servers. So this is the really important part. So again, going back to what I said earlier, you have a client tier, you have an application server, which is the middle tier, and you have a backend database, which is the third tier. So in the application server, again, J2E is included in that. So that means that again, going back to the concept, not the concept, but just how the interaction occurs from users request to application being presented. So again, basically the application server would have to be really well packaged, so that whatever request is from the user, the right application can be started, or can be brought about. So basically, what the application server does is it provides EJB, as I've already showed you guys. It provides EJB and web containers for available applications. So that will not be a problem. You'll be able to the right application, the applications that you need, that the users need, or that the user is calling for will be accessible. Um, and also the good thing about application service is that it's used for processing complex business logic applications. So again, like the perfect way to think about it is think of a banking system. Like let's say you know there's a mathematical calculation that has to be made. Check. You have it. Check that's being deposited. It's gonna change the it's gonna change how much you have available in your account. What's gonna happen in the process. So this is what application server comes in. What it does is it again that's a complex um, request from the user for modification of that amount. So that's gonna be part of the business logic application. So what a business application is gonna do is it's gonna do the calculation. It's gonna display the right value. So let's say you have $1,000 check, you put in your bank account, you currently have zero. From the 0 to $1,000 being displayed to you is part of the business logic application, and that's how you're able to view that information. And also again, the priority for application service is to deploy applications. But yeah, it's just deployments. And then, again, some of the features that you have with application servers basically a database transactions, security that includes again maximum availability for users, maximum again not maximum availability of data to for users, limited downtime. Again, this is something that is not probably going to it's probably not going to be like big thing to be too concerned about. But in terms of running application service, one of the things that you will encounter is that basically, let's say you're receiving multiple requests. So basically the application server is bound to not respond optimally for all those requests. So you might experience some downtime, but the thing is you want to have those be limited. Another feature is monitoring and performance tuning for your application server. So again, if you can tune your application server, you can have it be able to respond optimally, efficiently to users' requests. So another feature of application servers is the application messaging. So basically, you have a lot of interactions that are taking place inside our application server. So again, going back to what I said earlier about how basically you have the application server tied in with the backend database. So if there's it's without a messaging mechanism for those different tiers to communicate, then it would be difficult for the application server to basically deploy the application for you. So it includes application service generally they include again I'm referring to J2E, so definitely it includes a messaging system, so that that different tiers can communicate and the right application can be deployed. And also another feature is basically is the creation and management of users and groups. And another feature is again this application runtime. So again, how is the application functioning to the like of a user? Like is the application how's the performance of the application? Is it fast? Is it lagging? Does it need to be tuned? So again, that's going to be part of that's part of application runtime. So you just want to be able to monitor that. And also there's a concept of there's another feature called connection filtering. So basically, what you need to be able to do is you need to be able to sort of bring like sort of create a tunnel, not a tunnel, but like create connection pools for different users. So you don't want to just have anyone have access into the application server to be able to bring forth any application. So think if you think of your banking, for example, one of the things that you do is for you to be able to access the application server to, again, going back to the example about viewing your account balance. For you to be able to do that, you need to be able to put in your PIN number, and then once you do that, then you can be you're authenticated to you're authenticated and you're authorized to have access to that account. So again, that's just another feature that's part of our application service. And now, in terms of the WebLogic application server, again, basically, the WebLogic application server is a console-based application server. Basically, what it does is, you know, in short, basically, it's a server software, and basically, you can use it. There might be ways to use it. You can use it, with a browser. It's either going to be browser based or it's going to be command line based. And then basically, what it does is, again, what it does is it gels. It seamlessly gels, again, the client to the application server, which is WebLogic application server, to the back end. So basically, you have a synchronization in between those features. And then some of the benefits of using WebLogic application servers are, basically, it's easy to use. It's great with IT compatibility standards. It's very cost effective. Comparison to, like, let's say WebSphere. So with WebSphere, basically they charge you for the license and for the support. But definitely for WebLogic, what you do is you can just download it, and then you would be charged based on the support. So it's very cost effective. And then again, it's the leading e-commerce OLTP online transaction processing platform. And also it supports a wide array of standards. Again, going back to what I said about the compatibility standards. And then it's a leader in distributed computing environments. It's secure and it's robust. Again, it's Java based, and Java is known for basically just having strong security and just a robust so, like, I would say a robust technology to itself. And also it supports any legacy applications. And what I mean by that is, so basically, in terms of old technology, right? So legacy is old technology. So let's say you have an old technology, and let's say you have a big corporation, and what they're looking to do is they're looking to upgrade. But the truth is, they have too much data into those legacy applications, so they cannot just get rid of them and upgrade into new technology. So what they have to do is they have to sort of find softwares that are compatible with those legacy applications. That's where the WebLogic application service comes in. Basically, what it does is it's compatible with legacy application. So what it does is it will gel well with those old technologies. Again, it's gonna expand the functionality for that technology, and then again, yeah. So basically, it would not be a problem in terms of making that transition from legacy to something more of a new age, which is the WebLogic application server. And also, again, two other benefits are basically resource pooling. Again, this is referring to the concept of not the concept, but basically when you have a container, you can basically have different applications that are part of the container, and then you can basically refer to those applications. Basically, they're secure, they're accessible, and basically they can be brought about at any time, because again, That's what the storage that's the storage mechanism, which is a UV container. And then you also have connection sharing, users being able to again like utilize the same application, same applications. Again, once they have been authenticated and given access into the application server. And then some of the competitors for WebLogic application servers are WebSphere and JBoss. And then the versions of WebLogic server so you start out with version 7. That supported Java 1.3 to 1.4. It had an available console, but the thing is it had very limited features. And then version 8 came out, and then that one supported only Java 4. Basically, that one introduced the an applet-based console. Basically, it's very it's again it's you know it's sort of it evolved from the previous one. It's actually still in use by a lot of companies that have again legacy applications. And that are just looking to transition into like more modern age application servers. And then also it introduced what's known as a WebLogic scripting tool, also known as WLST. Basically, what it's used to run Java tasks. And the good thing about it, version 8, was that it was very stable. And also version 9 came out, and it supported Java 1.5. What it does is it introduced the web applications based administration console, which had a more modern look to it. Basically, what it also did, it increased security. It introduced a new tool called a Change Center, which basically enabled users to make modifications without any interruption. What I mean by that is that so typically when you are administrating an application server, like what you're doing is you would be making changes to what's known as a domain. So when you're making change to the domain, let's say that that data that you're working on, a user is trying to access the same data. So what change Center actually brought in, or the change that it introduced, was basically it allowed for a locking mechanism for what you were doing in doing your session on that particular data. And basically that user for the time that while you're working on that data set, the user will not have access to that data set. And then also what version 9 also provided was it provided improved application deployment. Again, just going back to being able to more efficiently respond to users' requests. And also version 10, it supported Java 1.6. Basically, what this one was basically it introduced more of a portlet console. If you can think of like a screen page with just panels, with display panels, and basically that display panels that containing like different system information. And basically, again, that was the change that was over by version 10. You had an actual front look to an actual front look to the console, and then you also have panels that displayed type of information relevant to this application server. And then also the good thing about version 10 was that it had a really high performance. And then version 11 came out. It wasn't basically the good thing about version 11 is that it actually integrated the Fusion middleware. Again, this is something that I hope to cover in a future lesson. And basically, what it also did is that it brought about improved supportability and administration. And then currently, WebLogic server is actually on version 12, 12.1.2 to be exact. And I think that one was just released recently. So okay, in terms of WebLogic servers, these are just some of the parts and the concept to know. So basically, in terms of administration for the WebLogic server, so you have, again, going back to something I said just a little bit earlier. You have this thing called domain. Basically, I'm gonna give you guys a definition of what domains are in the little tutorial. You have servers. You have two different types of servers. You have administration servers, and you have managed servers. You have clusters, and you have node managers. These are part of the administration components. And also you have services. You have JDBC. Again, going back to remember I showed you guys the J2E in architecture. You have JMS, and you also have security. And also you have application deployments. Application deployments, you have WAR, you have WAR, you have stage application deployments, and you have no stage application deployments. And you have, in terms of security, you have different users, and you have groups. You have authentication, authorization, you have roles, and you have policies. Again, that ties into basically, if, let's say you want to limit the access, or you want to, make more control for, on who's able to, get to the application server. And also you have diagnostics. You have log files. You have diagnostic images. You have FNMP. And then things to know. Basically, the different operating system and scripts. Basically, again, these the OS that the WebLogic server runs on are things that are very standard: Windows, Linux, and Solaris. And then also you must be familiar with the concept of Java J2EE. You don't have to know Java in and out, but you have to be familiar with the basics and some of the concepts. And also you have to be familiar with the object-oriented concepts and the thread model. Again, this is referring to the thread processing. Basically, I think it's okay. So this is a very interesting concept. Like, I'm not sure how it varies from technology to technology, but I did some research with IBM yesterday, and they said thread processing is just for it's either going to be user or kernel-based processing, and basically you can have multiple threads being part of one process, or you can have this a single process being that's running with a single thread that's running with one particular process. So that's something that you probably have to be familiar with. And also you have exception handling. Again, just going back to the concept of programming, where you respond to sort of like unexpected outcome for your program. And also you have a concept of protocols. Basically, you have to be familiar with the TCP/IP, and you also have to be familiar with the client and server protocol. And then in terms of administrating the WebLogic server, so some of the things that you'll be doing as a WebLogic server administrator, you're going to be troubleshooting WebLogic server issues. Again, you are going to be looking to do this with little to no measurable downtime. And then you're going to be able to analyze what the root cause of the problem is, and to prevent similar problems from occurring. And you're gonna need to be able to tune the resources, WebLogic servers and resources. So again, going back to an application runtime, you want to have those applications respond to the user's requests as optimally as possible. And the most difficult task that you're going to encounter is probably going to be responding to application requests with minimal downtime during application crashes. So as I've already told you, the application server is bound to crash, because you're gonna have a lot of users requests. And so if you have a lot of users requests on the front end that are again being directed at the application server, and what's going to happen is that you're going to have the application as they're responding, the performance of the application is going to wear down, and eventually it's going to just give up under the massive number of users who are trying to make like sustain a session or sustain a connection. And then so basically what you have to be able to do is you have to be able to basically just respawn a like respawn the application server, so that the application can be brought back for that users. So it's gonna be, again, application server prone to crash, so you have to be able to do that very quickly. And also in terms of again, administrating, so some things you be doing, you be deploying applications. You be writing scripts to ease the administration activity. Again, scripts that are just, think of like tasks, tasks such as starting servers, shutting down the server, or you be able to you should be able to administrate over perform that administration activity pretty well. You should also be able to perform migration and upgrades of the application server. So again, so if you have version 12 that's currently out, let's say you have version 13 that comes out, you won't be able to do the upgrade for that from that one version of WebLogic server to the next. You're going to also be helping developers code applications. Again, so remember what I've already said is that in terms of application server, right? So you have what's happening is that you have users making requests to the application server for a particular application type. So, and this application type is actually something that's been coded by developers. So as a WebLogic administrator, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be talking to the developers to get them to basically make the performance of the application more optimal. Sort of giving them tips on how to better code. Better write the code for that application type, so that you don't find yourself with having to experience too many application server crashes, due to the application type not being well coded. So that you be doing that, and also you be creating and configuring resources for applications to run efficiently. So again, you're going to make configurations to the server, to the managed servers, and also you're going to be configuring third-party software tools, software utilities. So what I'm referring to is basically, think about WebLogic server is that it's highly compatible. So let's say you have a client who wants to implement different web server types. So they want to implement WebSphere server. So you need to be able to integrate the WebLogic server with the WebSphere server, and then you also need to be able to integrate WebLogic server with different messaging systems, security software, and different databases. Going back to what I said earlier about different platform, IBM DB2, Oracle Enterprise, different version of Oracle, and then SQL Server. And in terms of the supported features for WebLogic server, basically it's compatible with Java 6 and 7, the current one. Basically, another thing that's important is the runtime predictability, which is actually going to be part of the JRocket JVM, which is available for Java 7. Basically, what this is basically so when you launch a WebLogic application server, you have two modes of launching it in. You can either launch it in development mode or production mode. Development mode, you have I think the name for that runtime for the development mode is I think it used to be Sun Hotspot. I think it's some version of JRocket right now, but basically it's just a way of distinguishing the runtime for for your application server. And also you have another feature is enterprise messaging. So you have to be able to the communication is going to be key for basically different layers on the different layers that are part of the of your of your system layout. So basically, can the application server communicate well with the backend databases? Can it communicate well with the applications that are part of that are in different containers? Can it communicate well with the client that are attempting to make a connection on behalf of the users? So all those things will have to be configured, and again, enterprise messaging is actually a feature that's also part of the WebLogic server. And also you will have to and also another feature is enterprise scalability and clustering. So the good thing about a WebLogic server is that it allows for you to actually create clusters for your servers. So I'm not gonna get too much into like what the servers are in WebLogic server, but basically you'll be able to package or to have different servers. You'll be able to join them and create one single instance, and then they do not have to be they do not have to be in the same like in the same. Again, go back to what I said earlier. You have this concept of domain. So the thing is, what a clustering is, it allows for you to basically combine combine different servers in different so like in different I don't want to say environment, but like in different that are configured separately for you to be able to access that server as if it were just one server. Meanwhile, it's a cluster that contains multiple servers. So you have more, again, that goes into concept that ties in with scalability. Is scalable. That means that you can have multiple servers that are part of one cluster, which actually appears to be only one server. And some of the features that are part of the WebLogic server: performance tuning, again, maximum performance. And also simplified development. You have JDEF, you have ADF, you have CAT, you have Java E6, and you have Spring. Also, the really important point is the virtualization. So now you're able to virtualize your WebLogic server environment. So again, you're able to basically like spawn different applications. Again, it's going to tie into basically how it's definitely going to be more compatible with let's say you have, again, if you look at the different development types, so you're going to have different applications from spawning from from JDEF to ADF to CAT. So virtualization is going to enable you to get a lot more to have more utility to what you're doing. And also, just getting started with WebLogic server, you can install it in console, silent, or with a GUI or a graphical user interface. And then next thing you do is you have to create a domain. I'm gonna cover that in lesson 2. And then to start your server, you just open up a browser. You type in the local host colon, the port number, and then /console. And the default port number is 7001. You can change that as you are creating your as you configuring your domain early on. And also you can modify the server parameters as you like. And also you can again go back to what I said earlier about the runtime mode. You can either select the development mode or the production mode. Development mode provides fast application deployment. Production mode is more, again, it's more of a it's more, it expects for you to things are done much slower in the production mode. If you were to select production mode, so again, choose whichever one you feel more comfortable with, or which one actually ties in more with the activity that you're doing. And then again, this is just a screenshot of the console. Basically, this is actually 12C. So actually, if you just look at the top, it's actually not a OLED console. It's actually an animation console for 12C. So basically, this is what it looks like. Again, I'll probably be able to show you guys a little bit more of like of how to configure your again configure your performance, how to create different services, and how to create managed service, and and how to just create clusters. And then okay, and then that is it. This is next time I'm gonna focus on the WebLogic server internals. Again, it's gonna be more of I'll focus more on the domain, managed server, administration server, clustering. Basically, what's part of a domain. Basically, what why do you need to have an administration server, and basically what exactly a console is, and how does it apply to your service. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.